It's May 2021, and after spending the bank holiday weekend in Durham, I've headed south to Darlington to explore more of the region, and maybe even go for an eye test. Darlington started life as an Anglo-Saxon settlement, and by the early 19th century had only grown to a small market town. On the 27th of September 1825, Locomotion No. 1 made its maiden journey from Shildon to Stockton-on-Tees via Darlington, kicking off the modern railway age and causing the town to rapidly grow in size. So important was Darlington that the bells inside the 1864 clock tower are the sister bells to those inside Elizabeth Tower at the UK Houses of Parliament. Darlington bells are Big Ben's siblings. Being at the birth of the railway gave Darlington a unique architectural and historical importance. The Skerne Bridge, across the River Skerne just north of the town centre, is the oldest railway bridge in continuous use in the world. And a short distance away, Darlington North Road can lay claim to being one of the oldest stations in the world. The Stockton and Darlington Railway may have opened in 1825, but they didn't think about adding stations until 1833. Up until then, you just waited at a convenient crossing. After a temporary depot, the station at North Road was opened in 1842, and after expansions and renovations over the years, this is still the station that stands today, having been turned into a museum in time for the 150th anniversary of the line in 1975. The Head of Steam Museum houses a number of artefacts relating to the history of the line, including original track and wheels, but sadly no longer the original Locomotion No. 1, which has recently moved a couple of miles up the track to Locomotion in Shildon. But a replica, built for the 1975 anniversary, is still on display. Just 9 miles up the track is Shildon, the original start of the line and where numerous County Durham coal mines loaded their winnings onto the coal trucks of the journey down to the port at Stockton. Today, part of the original yards have been developed into Locomotion, a railway museum that's part of the National Railway Museum and houses some of the most important trains in UK railway history. Including the original Locomotion No. 1, the prototype advanced passenger train, prototype high-speed train, and retiring here just days before my visit, the production HST 125 train that still holds the world record for fastest diesel train. As well as some of the UK's less well-loved trains. Whilst Darlington itself has only been around since Anglo-Saxon times, there's evidence of much older settlement just a couple of miles out of the city centre in the small village of Piercebridge. The village today covers most of the site of a Roman fort that was built here, where Deer Street, that connected York with Corbridge on Hadrian's Wall and on north to the Firth of Forth and then the Antonine Wall, crossed the River Tees. Whilst most of the fort is hidden under the village, on the eastern edge a small part is still visible, including the eastern gate and fortifications, along with part of the bathhouse. Located on the opposite side of the river, there also remains the Roman bridge that crossed the Tees here. Around 16 miles west of Darlington is another picturesque County Durham market town, Barnard Castle. The town was thrust, somewhat unwittingly, into the limelight by the actions of the UK Prime Minister's then Chief Advisor's ill-advanced jaunt here during the height of the first COVID lockdown in May 2020, in an attempt to see if his dodgy eyes were up to driving, best tested by tackling the winding country lanes of County Durham in contravention of the stay-at-home orders in place at the time. The name of the town reflects that the first thing here was the castle. Sitting high above the Tees on a rocky outcrop, it's easy to see why this place was chosen to fortify. Originally built during the latter half of the 12th century by the Balliol family, it grew into one of the largest castles in the country, with an impressive outer ward separated from the middle and inner wards by a grand ditch. "14 miles south of Barnard Castle and across the border into North Yorkshire is Richmond and its equally impressive castle. Building started just 5 years after the Norman invasion of England, with the lands being given to Alan Rufus of Brittany for his loyalty to William the Conqueror during his brutal ethnic cleansing or harrying of the north. His holdings were called the Honour of Richmond, and it's from this that over 100 other towns and cities across the world take their name, including the borough of Richmond upon Thames in London. Darlington is located on the East Coast Main Line with direct trains from London, Edinburgh, York and Newcastle, as well as connections to Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool and the wider cross-country network. The nearby Tees Valley International Airport has some connections to mainland Europe.